2020 is here, and with it, a brand new decade. Thinking about how much the furry fandom has changed over the last 10 years, we thought we would take a look this week at what we expect to happen in the furry fandom over the next 10 years. Hello, I'm Shadow Raccoon, and here's our 7 predictions for the furry fandom in the 20s. This one I sort of see as inevitable. With the growth in amazing furry content, YouTube's questionable algorithm, often terrible policy changes, and them making monetization continuously harder for many, I think it is only time before we see someone attempt to make a furry streaming service that actually takes off big time. Such a service will, make access to furry-focused content easier, better targeted, and will finally stop furry videos appearing alongside nursery rhyme videos in the suggested video section on YouTube once and for all. What it's called, what it looks like, and whether it's free, subscription-based, or eventually gobbled up by the Disney Plus empire, because what hasn't been, only time will tell. But it's going to be interesting to see such a service take off.
We have seen a dramatic changes to fursuits in the past 10 years, from features such as moving drawers to LED lighting, and more recently we've seen a move towards more customizable facial expressions such as adjustable eyebrows and interchangeable eyes. Hypno furs rejoice. This makes it easy to say that fursuits are only going to get more customizable and even more modular as the decade goes on. I expect to see at the very least more electronic wagging tails to become a common feature, twitching ears, and a lot more suits with fully digital eyes by the end of the decade. And on top of that, you'll find that people have fursuits that are more fully modular, enabling them to swap hairdos, noses, and entire drawers, transforming their facial expression on the go.
No one said all of these points would be good things now. Websites such as AliExpress and Wish.com have been selling fursuits for a while now. Chances are you've probably seen someone mention them on Twitter or YouTube or something like this by now. Most of them use images stolen from somewhere on the internet, have descriptions that are just literally keywords to try and make them appear quickly on the search results, and the prices are quite low. They're not stupidly cheap, but they are cheap. And obviously due to lax copyright laws and enforcement and such, everything's really hard to kind of stop them existing. And with the exception of a couple of instances like shopfursuit.com, which suffered the fate of 1 million angry furs coming after it, there's very little that can be done to stop these suits appearing on there. The one saving grace though, the quality has been put quite bluntly, shit. Examples seen around the web show the fursuits being little more than low quality mascot costumes with no real attention to detail being made or quality materials being used. They are certainly not a match for anything a fursuit maker could come up with, and as they stand currently, not a threat to any makers or even furries whose personas have been hijacked by one of these listings. However, in the next 10 years, chances are I have a feeling that these fursuits are going to start getting better. Not better than a fursuit maker could ever be, but certainly passable. If, for example, you take tablets, when the iPad first came out, sellers on places like AliExpress jumped up and had clones of the iPad on sale before Apple even had theirs in shops, and the quality of these tablets was just dreadful. However, 10 years on from that, if you take a look now at some of the tablet and iPad clones sitting around AliExpress or Wish.com, they're not that bad. I don't think they're going to win any awards for being the best, but they're serviceable. You could use one if you needed a cheap tablet on the quick. And I think this is how I see fursuits from these places going. On one hand, it means that, you'll be able to get a fursuit for cheaper and more people will be able to get a fursuit. But at the same time, if they're all based off stolen personas, it's going to be a real tragedy. And, the real losers are the fursuit builders here. Hopefully this is one prediction that we do get really wrong. I'd be really happy if it is wrong.
Safe to say that more and more people are heading to furry cons now than ever before, and it's great. Thanks to so many people behind the convention, experience willing to volunteer time to host and organize these cons, the fandom has more options in 2020 than ever before. However, As attendant numbers swell and cons struggle to keep up with the numbers rising, whether through hotel option problems or cost, some of our favorite cons may well become harder and harder to book. And sadly, this is something we're going to have to get used to. By the end of the 20s, it's not crazy to estimate that there will be a 2-year minimum waiting list for the largest conventions. And many other cons will sell out within seconds before you've even had a chance to click on the Register Here button on the website. So insane it will get, you'll even have someone offering up their convention hotel package on eBay for a crazy 6-figure sum, and a mass argument on Twitter about whether or not it's right or wrong will ensue.
AI has been a big part of the late 10s, and with smart assistants getting, well, smarter, they'll finally understand the furry fandom better. You'll finally be able to ask Alexa about popular furries, and, you'll get a whole array of information about them. You'll also be able to find out more about furry conventions when they are, fix your fursuit with advice and tips from the assistant, and even be able to commission artwork straight from your smart device.
Alexa, commission new Telegram stickers from the artist Toxicow.
Your commission has now been sent to the artist. Please check your emails for further information.
And talking of smart devices, the 20s will see the first fursuit come with integrated Google Assistant. Expect much trolling at Fermi when people realise this and keep asking it silly questions.
With furry cons becoming harder to book and the advent of affordable VR technology, we will see old concepts become new ones, with virtual furry conventions appearing online in VR space, like people used to use Second Life. Remember that? Given the rise of amazing, talented 3D artists in the fandom from the last decade, these online spaces in the 20s will allow people to have high-resolution models of themselves and offer the same activities to a real convention without actually having to leave a room. The biggest advantage of a virtual furry con won't be that you can attend from anywhere in the world, though, without leaving your house, but the fact that you won't have to suffer from con crud afterwards.
It'll take the whole decade, but Fur Affinity's beta mode will finally see the light of day and get pushed out as the main look for the website. Who am I kidding? It's not gonna happen. Am I right? Any money says Fur Affinity will still look the same in 2029 as it does in 2019. I mean, look at what the site looked like in 2009 compared to 2019. Very little change, right? So there we go. Those were our predictions for the next decade. How do you think the fandom will change over the next decade? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, or consider supporting us on Patreon. There's a link in the description below. I'm Shadow Raccoon. Happy New Year, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone! Hello, I'm Shadow Raccoon, and here's our Oh, I didn't change that one to 7. Oh no, that's...